How Aaron Carter died.
Everybody believed it to be an overdose.
Because he looked really bad.
Yeah, he was trying to raise like $100,000 so he could move to an undisclosed location because Tony and his family were conspiring against him.
At the same time that he's making these videos, he was actually speaking out against his own brother, who is Nick Carter. Right after Aaron Carter died, Backstreet Boys got back together. And Backstreet Boys is on the Sony label. Aaron speaking out about Diddy and Nick Carter could have destroyed Bad Boy and the Backstreet Boys reunion, which is all money for Clive Davis. So the theory is they had to shut Aaron Carter up because he was about to expose Diddy because he was talking about us, and he was about to expose his own brother who was about to blow back up as a Backstreet Boy because they were reuniting and going on tour.
It hurts so bad. It hurts. It hurts so bad because there's like nothing I can do about it. On my Twitter, and I see people saying, you look like you have AIDS, you should go die. I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my life to my fans, and now they turn on me.
Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice.
Oh my gosh! Aaron Carter's tragic death has everyone whispering about the darkest, most twisted secrets in Tinseltown. And honey, this tea is scalding hot. People simply cannot stop talking about his mysterious connections to none other than the powerful Diddy Combs. And trust me, what I'm about to tell you will leave you completely shook. Picture this heart-wrenching scene. Our beloved Aaron, found unresponsive in his bathtub. Sure, they're calling it an accident, but darling, the whispers about foul play just won't die down, especially after everything he bravely revealed about industry exploitation in those final months. The timing of what happened next will send absolute chills down your spine. Just when we thought this story couldn't get any more shocking, these explosive allegations about Diddy start surfacing. Are you sitting down? Because sources say he allegedly sold explicit footage from one of his notorious Hollywood parties for a mind-blowing $50 million through the web. We're talking major A-list celebrities caught on camera, and sweetie, the implications are absolutely earth-shattering. Let me take you back because this story has more layers than a Hollywood wedding cake. Before all this drama exploded, Aaron was our precious teen sensation who completely stole our hearts in the early 2000s. Remember Aaron's party, Come Get It? That infectious smile, those killer dance moves, he had it all. By just 10 years old, this absolute angel was already a global superstar, following in his big brother Nick Carter's footsteps with the Backstreet Boys. But oh honey, if we only knew what sinister darkness lurked behind that $1 million smile. Behind those dazzling stage lights, Aaron was dealing with pressures that would absolutely crush most grown adults. His life became this heartbreaking mess of family feuds over money, fame, and control. Can you imagine having to accuse your own parents, the very people who should protect you, of squandering millions of your hard-earned dollars? It makes my heart shatter into a million pieces thinking about what this poor child endured. As he got older, Aaron's struggles just intensified in the most devastating way imaginable. Multiple rehab visits, battles with severe addiction, and his incredibly brave fight with bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. It's almost too painful to even talk about, but what truly set our precious Aaron apart was his remarkable courage to speak up against the industry's dark side. He made these bone-chilling, cryptic statements about powerful Hollywood figures that would make your skin absolutely crawl. He wasn't just making random complaints. You could tell he was terrified, but determined to expose something massive and sinister.
Being a child and constantly being told, you know, go on this tour, go do this, and we'll buy you a boat, or we'll buy you a diamond necklace. And he just wanted to be home with his friends and to be a kid. And I think that when he turned 18, he got to a place where he was like, I'm never gonna let anybody tell me what to do again.
In those final haunting months, things took such a dark and frightening turn that it still gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. Aaron's social media became this desperate cry for help. He kept posting about feeling unsafe, warning that his life was in danger. And then, in what might be the most chilling moment of all, he reached out to Kanye West after those explosive claims about Hollywood elites and their alleged use of handlers like Pasternak to control artists. The connection between Aaron and Kanye's stories will absolutely chill you to the bone. Remember when Kanye claimed Pasternak threatened to institutionalize him and force medication on him? Well, hold on to your seats, darlings, because Aaron posted this now deleted tweet expressing the exact same terrifying fears about these tactics being used against him. The parallels are so haunting, it'll keep you up at night. Those final days of Aaron's life. I can barely talk about them without getting emotional. Friends and fans watched in absolute horror as he switched between posting these cryptic warnings and desperate pleas for understanding. Looking back now, it's crystal clear he was gathering evidence, preparing to expose something monumentally shocking. When they found him unresponsive in his home, these posts took on an entirely new, blood-chilling meaning. This wasn't just some tragic accident. It was part of something far more sinister. Now, let me spill some serious, scalding hot tea about these bombshell tapes that just leaked. They're allegedly connecting Aaron Carter and Diddy to Hollywood's underworld, and honey, the internet is absolutely exploding with this news. These recordings reveal something utterly horrifying, an organized ring targeting young entertainers. And it gets worse. They're saying Diddy's lawyer might have been involved in all of this too. I mean, can you even imagine the scope of this conspiracy? The content of these tapes will absolutely make your jaw drop. They're talking about these secret parties, and I mean really secret, where innocent stars were exploited under the guise of networking and mentorship. And guess whose name keeps coming up? Our sweet Aaron. Sources suggest he was either targeted or knew exactly what was going on behind those closed doors. Some people believe his cryptic warnings and desperate attempts to connect with Kanye were his final efforts to expose the truth before it was too late. And just when you think this story couldn't possibly get any more shocking, bam! Diddy's longtime lawyer suddenly resigns. This isn't just any old lawyer, darling. We're talking about someone who stood by Diddy through countless high-profile cases. The timing? Right when these explosive tape allegations surface. Neither of them is saying a word. But honey, the speculation is absolutely wild.
He begged for her in front of the world. He begged for financial support to help get him a private security team to keep him alive. He said on numerous occasions, if anything happens to me, I promise you, I am not vital. And no one said anything.
Silence breaker for my brother, who is a and they're after my life. My whole family is after my life, and they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million, and they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. They owe me money, and they're trying to off. And I'm begging you, and I'm pleading you, help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage saying I wanted to hang myself.
Oh, and speaking of wild, let me tell you about the absolute drama with Aaron's inner circle. The relationships with his family, especially his mother and siblings, were completely shattered by accusations of betrayal and exploitation. Those public feuds with his brother Nick Carter, they got so intense and scary that Aaron had to file restraining orders against his own family. Can you imagine being so terrified of your own flesh and blood that you need legal protection? Now, hold on to your seats because we need to talk about Melanie Martin. This is where things get really suspicious and downright disturbing. Within hours, yes, you heard that right, mere hours, of Aaron's passing, she had moving trucks outside his house collecting his belongings. Who does that? What kind of person thinks about material possessions when their supposed loved one has just died under mysterious circumstances? Everyone's wondering if she might be connected to those Hollywood handlers Aaron warned us about. The timing is just too convenient to ignore. And her social media behavior, oh my goodness, don't even get me started. It's like she cared more about managing her public image than actually grieving Aaron. Every single post seemed calculated, every statement felt rehearsed, every move appeared to be part of some bigger, shadowy strategy. It's like watching someone perform grief instead of actually experiencing it.
Colorado, I get my guns back and my 12-gauge shotgun and all the snakes in the grass. You're mine.
The fans are absolutely demanding justice. And honey, they're getting louder by the minute. More and more people are convinced that Aaron's tragic end was meticulously planned, especially after these leaked tapes connecting him to Diddy surfaced. Sure, they tried to paint this as just another sad story of addiction and mental health struggles, but a growing number of people think that's just a convenient cover-up for something much darker and more sinister. Let me take you deeper into the absolutely heartbreaking reality of Aaron's life as a child star. It'll make you question everything about the entertainment industry. The poor angel was dealing with spotlight pressures that would crush most adults, let alone a precious child. He was expected to be on constantly, maintaining this perfect image while going through the most awkward and vulnerable years of his life. Most kids get to figure out who they are in private, but not our Aaron. He had to do it all with cameras flashing in his face and vultures waiting for him to make one tiny mistake. Without any chance to just be a normal teenager, he turned to substances to cope with the crushing pressure. His behavior became erratic, and oh my God, the fallout with his family was absolutely devastating. Aaron was so incredibly brave to open up about his addiction and mental health struggles, but sadly, these battles became what people focused on instead of his incredible talent and beautiful soul. And here's where it gets even more twisted and disturbing. Diddy's influence in Hollywood goes way, way deeper than anyone could have imagined. Industry insiders have been whispering about these exclusive parties he hosted. And honey, they weren't just innocent little get-togethers. There are claims these events were designed to manipulate and intimidate young artists in the most horrifying ways. Both Justin Bieber and Aaron were reportedly at these gatherings. Can you imagine what terrifying things they might have witnessed? In those final, haunting months, Aaron's behavior might have seemed erratic to outsiders, but those close to him say something much more sinister was happening beneath the surface. He was under absolutely crushing pressure, especially after hinting that he was ready to expose some major industry secrets that would shake Hollywood to its core. In interviews, he kept suggesting he knew things that powerful people would do anything to keep buried. He even mentioned feeling targeted and receiving threatening messages just for speaking out. The most heartbreaking part of this whole tragic story? Aaron's precious life was cut devastatingly short before he could reveal what he knew. His own mother, and this just breaks my heart into a million pieces, doesn't believe for 1 second this was an accident. She's absolutely convinced he was silenced to protect powerful people like Diddy. She's demanding a deeper investigation, and honestly, who can blame her after everything that's come to light?
What's the price that you're willing to pay for success? Justin Bieber, arguably one of the best musical artists in the last 10 years. By the way, do you know how old Justin Bieber is now, today? 30 years old. He got famous 15 years ago when he was, and probably before that, but because if you're meeting Diddy, you're probably famous at that point. He's been famous for a decade and a half. At what point do the parents have to say, hey, look, we love our kid. We want the best for him. He really wants to go for this music thing. He's up here in Canada, and we're going to bring him to Miami, to LA, and we're going to give him a shot. Now, what happens behind closed doors, that's, Justin Bieber and Diddy knows. But let's not get it twisted. The kid's not 5 years old. He's not 10 years old. You're 15 years old. You're at Diddy's house. You kind of got to be able to make decisions.
Are you saying at 15, Adam? I'm so confused. Are you saying at 15 he should have responsibility to not let a man him and potentially him?
Well, A, yes. But B, the parents, where are they here?
As we look back at Aaron's life and the mysterious circumstances surrounding his passing, we can't help but think about the terrible price of speaking truth to power in Hollywood. While his story might forever be clouded in questions and speculation, his impact and legacy continue to touch hearts across the world. Whether through support from friends like Justin Bieber or the burning questions that still linger in everyone's minds, Aaron's memory reminds us that sometimes the truth comes at an absolutely devastating cost. The federal investigation is still ongoing, and sources say it's expanding by the day to expose an even bigger web of corruption involving Hollywood's most powerful and influential figures. If they manage to connect Diddy to Aaron's death, it could trigger an absolute avalanche of revelations that would expose all of Hollywood's darkest and most twisted secrets. The sudden resignation of Diddy's lawyer, combined with mounting legal pressure, suggests something massive and earth-shattering is about to break. The question on everyone's minds right now: was Aaron Carter really silenced to protect the industry's elite? Or was his death truly just a tragic end to his personal struggles? These leaked tapes might hold all the shocking answers, but with Hollywood's most powerful players working overtime to contain the damage, will we ever learn the whole devastating truth? Aaron's story isn't just heartbreaking. It's a desperate wake-up call about the dark, twisted side of fame and the terrible price of daring to speak out against the industry's most powerful figures. Sweet Aaron was just trying to protect others from experiencing the same exploitation he endured. And look what happened to him. It makes you wonder how many other stars are out there right now, terrified to come forward with their own stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more shocking revelations about Hollywood's biggest and darkest secrets. And please, tell me in the comments, Do you think we'll ever know what really happened to our precious Aaron Carter? The truth is out there, and it's more shocking than anyone could have possibly imagined. Stay tuned because this story is far from over, and something tells me the biggest bombshells are yet to come.